Hey, hey ho! We're drawing live on a Sunday. Dude, how hype. I'm so excited to hang right now. This is an unofficial, I guess like random episode of Spilled Ink. We're just gonna kick it for like a good 30 minutes an hour, talk about panels, the comic book creators guidebook by Comics Wellspring. So excited for this. And so we're gonna be kicking it with our boy Javi here. And we're both working on some fun Star Wars pieces that I'm super excited for. But Javi, dude, what are you working on? This is I mean, beautiful, man. I'm so hyped for what you're doing.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I've been doing like annual May 4th drawings. I did one for Return of the Jedi, one for Phantom Menace, and this year being 25th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith, doing episode 3.
Oh, dude, I love that. We just watched hey, we have some people hanging on Instagram. Hey,
Nice.
Nightmare. I gotta check out your page, dude. You've been hanging out with us a lot. Definitely gotta hang soon. And I can't type, apparently. Mhm. Uh, oh, there we go. Sorry, trying to like navigate. This is totally new. So we're streaming on three different platforms right now. We're going on Twitch that we just created a Twitch channel that we have not advertised yet, but hey, we're just putting them all out there. We're on YouTube right now and we're on Instagram. So I'm super hyped to have so many people hanging out. Um, so we are gonna kick it for a bit. I'm gonna finish this drawing. I finished started this page on Spilling the other night, and I was super hyped to be able to come bounce back into it and like wrap it up a little bit more. Um, I'm doing a few different Star Wars comics this month on my own. So they're all going to be Star Wars themed and probably like autobiographical to a certain extent as well. But I think it'll be a good challenge. I threw up some of my favorite Jedi at the top up here. I
Oh yeah,
have some like past stuff. I have an Empire scene. You always got to throw in a hand somewhere, and
of
a dramatic
course.
hand. You know, the Kirby dramatic hand. And then yeah, I'm super hyped. I'm gonna kind of black out this thing. So while that dries, I'm gonna work on this lightsaber right now, and then hopefully be able to wipe this part out. If not, move to this last panel and kind of wrap this thing up before I scan it at the library tomorrow. I was gonna do more traditional coloring, but Jade was telling me that because I'm using blue line paper, it's a lot more difficult to get the blue line out when you've colored your page because you have to like mess with it in the settings. You have to
Yeah,
crop it basically right away. Um, which actually wouldn't even be bad because I did extra like what Max was explaining on Spilled Ink the other night was that we have the blade and trim on your blue line, but you want to add like another inch to that because when you look at comics, there's always that extra amount of room for the panels, like the grid and the bleed and all that. So I made it everything even smaller than what I was originally thinking. So that's been an interesting trick to learn as well. I don't know if that's something you do, hobby, to be honest.
uh, not necessarily. I mean, I while I am aware of how like that, formatting stuff like that definitely like makes it easier. Because I was talking to Max about it myself not too long ago, where I use Procreate to make all my comics, and like they have like a pretty simple like comic template on Procreate that's 6 by 9, 9.5, if I remember the dimensions correctly.
Hmm.
And that like I've never had any issues using that template, and like all my stories have been formatted perfectly fine so far, and the stuff I've done for Apollo so far have come out fine for what it seems. So like just using that as a template works pretty well. Like when I'm working traditionally, I always like use a tape to put it right on the edges of the bleed. So I
Oh,
just
okay.
can work all the way to the bleed, and then I just crop it from there when I scan it in.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you do a lot of little tweaks when you scan it in. I love hearing about that. That's what I'm going to start learning, I guess, after I draw a few more pages and start putting them into scanning them in. I have to go to the library to scan in my stuff, though. You take a picture with your phone, you're telling me, huh?
Yeah, yeah, that I really felt like I had to like emphasize when I told you that like I'm not fucking around. I'm not joking when I when I do this. Like I straight up just use my phone. Like definitely that'll surprise people, but like it like you mentioned, I will kind of do a lot of little tweaks and stuff to like my scans and whatnot to make them look pretty crisp. Like something that I do pretty quickly is that I'll basically after I take the picture, like I don't know if like other photo apps have this, but I know at least for like for my phone, I can like crop it perfectly to the corners that I need. I don't need to have like the most like flat image, like flat photo of it. Like the warping in the photo app will kind of do the work from there. And
Ooh.
like from there I load it up into Procreate, crop it into the comic template that I mentioned, and then I just mess with the curves to whiten it out as much as possible, blacken it out as possible, and then I just straight up fill in my line work that like didn't get caught by the curvatures with like the black or white colors.
Ah, speaking of capturing those curvatures, it's talk to Mr. Doug Knight about capturing curvatures.
I don't know how to jump in on that one, honestly. I don't know if I should be offended, flattered, or just honored for being here with two such handsome individuals.
Oh, what a guy! What a
Too
guy!
good.
But
Yeah,
how's
geez.
everybody doing?
Good, Doug. How are you this May the 4th?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear
Okay.
us?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
okay. Yeah, we're good now. I'm outside in the great Canadian wilderness of the suburbs of northern Toronto, so you know,
Love that.
5G.
You
5G
skateboarding with
baby.
the kids?
No, they've graduated to the basketball court, so
Oh,
we're
nice.
playing some b-ball outside of the school.
Oh, cool. Nice. That's fun,
My
dude.
shoulders are needed. Sorry, guys.
Oh, you're good. By all means, you are wrapping up a Kickstarter campaign right now, are you not?
Yeah, man. I think we just crossed 12 hours left, and we just I haven't checked in the last whatever 10 seconds, but last check it was like 60 backers and just crossed 3K Canadian. So
Ooh,
it's pretty cool.
Nice.
that's
I'd
awesome,
say,
man. What was your
yeah.
goal? What
Should
was your
should
overall goal?
what's that, Javi?
What was the overall goal you had?
15. So we crossed 200%,
Nice.
which is great. I think like it's cool because you get so many congratulations from people and stuff. But like when you're driving the ship and you're sailing it and you're making sure that everybody who's sick on board is feeling good. 1 minute, you can go on my shoulders for a slam dunk. Then you feel like you sure wish you saw 300% kind of thing, but I'm super stoked with how it went, and yeah, and I'm excited to see how many books we can get printed now. It's okay, I'll be right there.
Yeah.
I'll be right there. I'll be right there.
We'll let you continue, finish the plug and then attend to the little ones
Yeah, that's
because
pretty much it.
they're
Just
all hype.
just super thankful for everybody that jumped on and for you and Comics Wellspring for all the support for helping to advertise and push everything out. And yeah, I mean it's after midnight. I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna do the gym tonight, and then I'll do a live with hopefully better audio than my last one. And yeah, and I'll wrap it up, and then it's just about finishing a book and getting the rest of them, formatted and ready for print. White Cell Squadron's done already, so I might be able to send that to print early, and then get those books out earlier. But we'll see. That's all like the logistics after the fact that nobody really cares about. But I'm gonna
Yeah,
keep
I feel
everybody
you there.
updated. I'll be full transparency and everything, so it's gonna be cool.
Dude, that's oh, whoops, that's sick. Yeah, the logistic part, people forget about that. Like, okay, how is this going to be easiest, best, and the most well thought out financially as well?
For everyone involved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, and that's the thing. Like, I've already like got my shipping stuff figured out in terms of like Canadian drop shippers and stuff that I can use, especially. And there's some other people that have like upgraded their tiers so that I can put my signature on books and stuff and send them from here to you guys in the States. But then the people that
Nice.
didn't add anything on or whatever, we've got. I was able to team up with my good friend Brandon Blocksdorf, who's the co-producer on Apollo or on Apocalypse Now, because its first debut was in the Apollo City punk rock anthology. So I'm stoked to be partnering up with you on it, and you're going to handle all the U.S. distro,
Yeah.
and that's cool. And CWS offers separate shipping addresses too from when you fulfill your order, correct?
Yes, they do. You can do fulfillment
Yeah.
services with them.
So it'll be cool to be able to kind of like because I've got the 75 books and the 75 coloring books that I'm going to send out to Chicago. So I'll ship from CWS there to them, and then I'll have the rest sent to you, and then I'll get the rest up to me, and I'll deal with whatever taxes I have to pay on it because that's part of the hustle.
Sick.
Nice, man.
So
That's part of it, you know? That's what we do is figure out
yeah,
how are we
what do
gonna
you
do
say? You got to
this.
pay the cost to be the boss.
Yeah, straight up, man.
But
And it's
yeah,
one
that's
of
cool.
those things
Before
like
before
comics
I
is
get
so much
booted
more.
forever from the internet, I'm gonna hop off, and I'm gonna go help a 5-year-old slam dunk illegally off of my face. So
I love
I'll
it. Love it so
hop
much.
off here, and congrats on everybody else's success. Good job in Brooklyn, you guys, and
Thank you.
Thanks.
face soon.
Yeah, thank you. We'll talk soon. We'll do a live with panels again this week.
Yeah, sounds great. Sounds great.
Awesome, Doug. Have a good one, my dude.
Hasta luego, amigos.
Later, dog.
Nice. The Doug Knight is out.
Good
I'm
guy.
curious how this is popping up on Instagram. We have a lot of people popping in, so I'm curious to see how that quality has been as we broadcast across various streaming channels right now.
You know, new waters here, or
Yeah,
whatever
it's a
the
good
saying is.
test. And if it sucks, then I guess we'll just switch to Instagram Live only, but we'll find out. Typically, it's pretty good though. Yeah, I didn't
Um,
realize that StreamYard can stream on like 5 different places at once. So I was like, you know what? We got to test this out. We gotta see if it works. Um, and it's a Sunday afternoon, morning for most people. Honestly, it's like 10 a.m. in most
yeah,
cities.
dude, it's still early.
But yeah, we got 29 backers right now. We're hoping to get to cross the halfway point today. I want to cross it. I want to get the halfway backer and then push forward a little bit. That's my hopes for today. That's my Sunday my Sunday manifestation, as I should say, you know.
Well,
Let's make it
so
happen.
so tell me, Brandon, because like, you know, I I've been pretty like working closely with you guys of like trying to get panels launched and everything, but I know the selling point, but what is a selling point for people who don't know?
Yeah, dude, honestly, there's a few ways to look at it, and it's really beneficial to new creators, to old creators. I mean, the biggest focus of the book is it's aimed for children, you know, not children like kids, young A in that sense, YA,
Mm-hmm.
kind of 12 and above, 8 and above, things like that. Really just to help motivate them to get to write comics, because it's really easy to get stuck on like how to think about things, how to like approach characters, how to approach story and structure, and how to have your comic look and feel like a comic book, you know? Like it's one thing to be able to draw and to like slap together a little story, but then some people feel like, oh, well, it's not like what I read and what I enjoy. How do I get closer to that?
Right.
And this book is really here to help you do that. And it's helped to like put that framework with younger audiences to get them in the habits and the understanding early in their careers. That was a big intention behind it in general. Um, and for us older creators like you and me, it's a different way to look at making comics, you know? There's not many or any how-to books, to be honest, that really show us how to really like actually step by step make a comic and have a produced book at the very end. It gives you, the ways, gives you ideas to do things, but there's nothing that really guides you through it. And this is the book that's going to guide you through to a finished product at the very end of it. You'll have a book that you could actually hold and something tangible and you could scan and actually like send off to print and whatnot. So there's some really cool aspects to go with it that are beneficial for any creator. Um, because like writers and such can get bogged down and stuck with, paneling, with trying to figure out art, or they're not artists. And so they feel like they can't draw anything, but this pushes you to get you to do all those things. It makes you write and draw stuff. So you're going to get some practice, and the only way you're going to get better at an understanding is by practicing it over and over. So this is where the workbooks come into play. We have the 8-page comic workbook that comes with it. We'll also be doing a bigger workbook, a 16-pager as a stretch goal to test out once we hit that point. And then we'll be doing add-ons over the next couple of years of different type of workbooks as well.
Nah, I think that's like uh something I had thought about. Even I don't think I've even mentioned this to you before, but I'm seeing a lot about how there are more schools nowadays, like colleges and universities and things of that nature, that are providing courses and careers in comic making. And I think that's phenomenal. And it's just, I know that like with panels, that like there's a whole section or a whole tier to that's orientated for schools and things of that nature to kind of help maybe start a new program at your school. Like, hey, let's make some comics.
Yeah, that's a big intention behind it too, was really to help find a way to get this into schools and educators and things like that too. We want it to be very accessible. And the accessibility behind this book and how it's aimed at every generation of someone creating is why it's so exciting for me. Um, I'm not someone who has kids. I don't have, I have some nieces and nephews that could benefit from it. I have some friends that could, but like, I'm excited to benefit from it. Like, I want to be doing this right here, making comics. And I get stuck on like when I want to draw something for myself. And I'm like, man, this seems complicated. I could write for an artist, but like to write for myself, that's a little rough. So this whole entire approach, come on, Booby, you gotta decide. Oh my God, that hurt. Oh, my cat. Stabbed me in the chest. But yeah, you really gotta, just practice making comics and art. And I think people get discouraged by not wanting to put in that practice to the new aspect of the craft. And well, I'm hyped about it.
Yeah, I think in general, just like, the idea of making comics can be super daunting from any perspective of like being a writer or an artist. But like so far from what it seems like with panels, it's very much a thing to help you just start thinking as a overall creator. Not even this isn't a book about how to write comics. This isn't a book about how to draw comics. It's a book about how to make a comic from beginning to end. And
Yes.
that's like I think a huge differentiator.
Yeah, dude, not a lot of books are, Scott McCloud has great material to teach you and inform on things. The Dave Gibbons book, super influential, and I love that book. I think it's wonderful.
Hmm.
I've been going through a lot of these. I mean, even Shelley Bond's book on editing, we've taken into consideration, and I love these books. They're all very informative, but they just don't
Alan
leave you
Moore's
with the
writing
finished
comics.
product. Alan Moore's writing comics, like it's all good advice, but nothing gets you to sit down and put pen and paper to the page, and that's what we want to do.
And no, I think just in general, panels is just a great idea. Like I know, like I definitely know like younger people that like would want to make comics that could definitely benefit from signing up for or getting a book for panels.
And and that's why I like it because we're not teaching you, like you said, we're not teaching you how to draw. Like this isn't anything like that. This is telling you think about paneling, like think about layouts, think about how pacing works and how to like, you know, build your character and the story at once. And I see that missing in so many modern indie comics, just in general. And so just like getting a debriefing, going back into that student mindset and refreshing yourself is really freaking awesome, especially because this book is going to like be printed and released by the holidays. So you're going to
Hmm.
enter 2026 with like, oh, I have a new project in front of me that I could take on. Um, and I think that's even more encouraging for people to back it because it's like, oh, you go into Christmas, you could gift it for family, you could get it for yourself, you could start the new year off with something strong. That's what I want. I want to be able to influence people like that. So that's pretty
Yeah,
sweet.
and even again to that point of like a lot of other schools offering like these programs now and stuff like that. Like that's just awesome in itself. And like I I know people that like I've met at doing at events and other smaller conventions and stuff that are just getting into making comics, and like it does kind of make me reflect on like even my own path at this point. Like even though I'm not super in like far in my career or anything like that comparatively, but it's just even then it's still like something to put into perspective. It's like you always start from somewhere, and panels is a great place to start.
Yeah, yeah. I'm excited to work through these questions and the workbook pages on Spilled Ink so people could get like a taste and a flavor for it. Um, Overall. Hey, we got our boy Eric popping in.
Ooh.
Hey. Yeah, hopefully the stream is coming through good on Instagram, Eric. Thanks for popping in. You could be our tester. Um, we're streaming everywhere. We're on YouTube right now. We're on Twitch. We are on Instagram. We're doing it all at the moment, so I'm pretty hyped.
Everything.
I think I figured out a way to start doing this like for every stream now, which will be exciting. Because it's cool. You
Yeah.
can watch it on Instagram and then come back to YouTube and catch the whole thing, which is what I'm hoping to do, is capture all of our conversations a lot more.
Yeah. I think also like there might be a way to use like Twitch and OBS to like do that in another shape or form. Like I don't know, because I think you've mentioned about how like StreamYard you got to pay for it and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I've never looked into super deeply about like Twitch or anything. I don't know if you have to pay for anything for Twitch, but like definitely there are just so many ways to stream nowadays. Like and there's so many little tricky things that you can do to get like, oh my god, like a crispy like thing going on, but has there been another backer?
I don't think so. I was just seeing if I could screen share. Yeah, I can. I can screen share and show
Yeah,
our campaign right now at the same time. That's pretty sweet.
nice. We'll do
Nice.
like a
Yeah.
live counter.
Dude, this is pretty interesting how I can do all this. We have a show in Apollo we want to um actually start up. It's called Slit Your Wrist Sundays. We'll be watching videos and concerts and kind of like Beavis and Buttheading it in a sense. Like we're on a couch just talking about the music and the set. So I'm pretty hyped. I'm gonna be testing this out for that.
Yeah, I'll record the whole Turnstile concert in June. We'll just watch that.
Ooh, yeah, dude, freaking down for that. But yeah, check out the Kickstarter page, everyone. Come support us. We're one backer away from 30, almost to the halfway point. So I'm really hyped about all of that. Here we go.
Yeah, I think in terms of like any instructional or like tutorial things that I've read, uh it's wait, is my stream still up?
Oh no, my bad. I have to pop it back in. I didn't realize that. There we go.
But like because I started reading a lot of color theory books thanks to China.
Oh,
She like
cool.
linked me to a lot of like great color theory books and things of that nature. That helped a lot immensely. Um,
That's rad. I was just talking to her this morning.
nice. And like she also linked me to a lot of like what should I call it? Like anatomy books. There's a word. A lot of anatomy like pages and IG pages and stuff like that where you can just practice different anatomy poses. And like a lot of that helped immensely. And
Yeah.
that's like the furthest I've gotten with like really and reading Scott McCloud's book, Alan Moore's book or essay. That's like the furthest I've ever gotten of reading anything informative or educational about comics.
Hmm.
But all that stuff has just been super like like just a huge benefit to the craft, I think.
That's dope. That's what I gotta dive into more, I feel, is like some of those aspects, especially the anatomy. Like, I really got to figure out faces a bit easier. I feel like that's where I get stuck right now is my faces.
Yeah, something that I started doing like when I was really trying to figure out faces more was just trying to wow, Link is crying crazy. He's trying to hide a tree. He's like, I don't know where to hide this.
So cute.
But like, damn, what was I saying? Oh yeah, faces. The thing that helped me the most of like drawing different faces was just drawing the same face but at different angles. Like I forget where I saw this, but it was like doing like the 9 different face angles where it's like one looking up to the left, one looking upwards, one looking up to the right, one looking directly to the left. Just all the different profile shots that you could draw of a person, those 9 different things, and just practicing that with like just my favorite characters and stuff helped a lot.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's what I gotta do. I gotta just like focus on that structure and understanding that so I can start looking at angles better because the different angles are what throws me off, like the eye placement, the nose, mouth, you know what I mean?
Right.
Just the details behind them too sometimes.
But then that's also where you can get like a little more stylized and more abstract, which like I feel like your style pretty is abstract already, and like I think that is where you find this more solid like grasp on like what you're trying to create. Because I
Yeah,
think
that's my thing is like I'm trying to figure out like what I'm trying to understand what comes out more so I could envision stuff quicker. Like I need to understand my style more, I think.
and you know
But that just takes practice.
yeah, that's really all it is. Like I I vividly remember having conversations with like you and Jade of like talking about my art when I first did I Hear Ya for CyberSync and just like thinking about how much has changed since in my art.
Oh yeah, dude, so much.
And
You've
it's
really
like
honed in that style too.
yeah, I just really like doubled down on it because I something that really what's the word made me feel confident in it, especially is when I went to a James Tynan signing once, and I was funnily enough showing him my Return of the Jedi drawing that did that year, and he was just like really examining it, just like this is really good. Like you already have a style going on, the eyes and stuff like that. So it's like that really made me feel a lot more confident of like, okay, I think I'm onto something here.
Yeah, hands down, I think so. That's what really drove me to your work is that you already had your own like little way of looking at things, and I can't really compare it to anybody else either.
Like I
Like you
definitely
could
have,
almost say Scotty Young because he still has that like childish aspect, but it's not at all like that.
that's
That's just like in the same realm. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's the comparison I get pretty often sometimes. Of like it's I bring like Scotty Young vibes, which I'm
yeah,
not complaining about. Scotty Young is great.
days of shit. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out just some stuff with my things. Like, I think I just need to go just practice over and over on a sheet and just figure it out, and it'll pop up in the next couple months. I think I'll have strides by doing these mini comics.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like you're only gonna get better by just doing it more.
Yeah,
Like it'd be insane if you kept doing it and you got worse. Like,
right. Yeah,
it's like at that point, it's like, oh no, I'm joking. But
that. And
that's
it's
when you
like you
need
can
to
only
like
look at so many like how-to books or like how to draw an eye, a nose, a face, unless you just have to go do it. You know what I mean? You can look at those all day and
yeah,
like
but to produce
understand
it,
it. Yeah, understanding and producing are two different things. That's why I don't know, I'm a little snobby at this, but like when I see reviews on stuff, like I take it with a grain of salt because most reviewers don't know how to create or do that thing. They're just like giving commentary. And so to
right?
me, I'm like, unless you know how to do something, I don't really think you're qualified to critique. Or if you have done something before, you're not really qualified to critique it unless you've done it before.
It's kind of like in the similar vein when people say like for those who can't do, they teach.
Yeah, yeah, for real. Yeah. Um,
But I definitely like feel that for sure because a lot of times with critics and stuff like that, like there's always a joke so, like everyone's a critic, and as an artist, I'm sure a lot of us can relate to that. Of like it doesn't
yeah.
matter
Well, you were
what we
dealing with
do.
that yesterday.
Yeah, and like even jokingly, I deal with it at my job where like I do like monthly drawings on the board and stuff behind me, and
Uh,
like I did one for spring where I said happy spring. I put a bunny on there, nice sky, grass, flowers, whatever. And I already knew that like I hesitated because I was like, should I put happy Easter? I was like, nah, because then someone's gonna say something and I'm gonna have to change it once Easter's over. Because that's happened before where I put holiday stuff and like literally the day after it's like, oh, it's not this day anymore. I'm like, you know,
it's crazy because it's 8 a.m. when I just clocked in. Yeah,
yeah.
it's
So
wild.
I just left it as spring to just generalize it. And then, of course, one of the nurses was like, oh, I mean, I feel like it should say Happy Easter if Easter around the corner. And I was like, yeah, but if I say Happy Easter, you're going to make me change it once Easter's over. And then, sure enough, after I got back from Easter, she was like, oh, I feel like now that Easter's over, I feel like you should take the bunny off of the board. I was like, what?
Honestly, though. So I'm gonna do this. Should I color this lightsaber part now, or should I just wait to scan it in and digitally color it?
I would say digitally color it because like then you can really bring some cool lighting effects like that.
Right? That's what I did with these. I already physically colored them, but I think I could work around
Right.
that with the scan and just black and white it.
I mean, even still, like with the scan, like, and if you don't black and white it, you can still just like use that color hue to make a glow on
Oh,
top of
true.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. But everyone watching, yeah, check out Panels, the Comic Book Creators Guidebook. I'm super hyped about it. We're just a backer away from the halfway point. So if you guys want to make my day and help support our campaign right now, it's live. We launched Thursday morning. We're having a really strong start to everything, and it's a long, brutal month ahead of us as we try to hit that campaign goal. But the sooner, the more I could breathe, and the safer I feel with my job. So go ahead and back that. Go and set us up there and give us that support.
Yeah, guys,
But
Brandon needs to breathe because there's a lot of stuff that he and I still need to work on.
yeah, honestly, um, yeah, I think I'm kind of done with this. I just need this to dry so I can erase it, and then I'm gonna have to wait till tomorrow so I can scan it in the library and do it. I think I need to finish up this panel more, and it needs definitely something in the background. I'm glad I did this line thing for this panel.
Yeah, no, that came out
Um,
solid.
I gotta figure out what to do for this one though, like a background.
I mean, you could make it like a sort of color gradient after you scan it in.
Oh yeah, that's true too. Just kind of keep it bare for now.
Yeah, because
That's
that's
true.
what
It's a
I
good
tend to do
balance.
sometimes. Like, so that way it's not just like solely like black backgrounds every panel.
Do I have an eraser with me? Oof, might need to run downstairs. Oh, one fell on the floor. Nice.
All right. Floor eraser, 5 second rule.
Yeah, right. Let's see here. Clean this up a little bit.
Yeah, I've just been trying to
And
find the right palette for everything right now because I've drawn Vader before, but I never. That was like pretty early on in me using Procreate, so I never actually saved like the color palettes that I used.
oh, okay.
So I'm just making like a new color palette for all this stuff as I go. But I'm pretty happy how the colors of the robe are coming out.
Well, help clean things up a lot. I always need to erase my pencil marks, dude. I can't really see it without my pencil marks until I erase. That's when I start feeling better about stuff.
I don't know if you noticed, but with this particular piece, I it was mixed with like red and blue lead because I ran
Hmm.
out of red lead,
Oh
so
wow.
I just started using blue lead. But honestly, I like the blue lead.
I have a blue pencil. I need the mechanical lead. I'm so used to my mechanical now.
Yeah, mechanical pencils, you're just like I don't know, man, having to constantly sharpen your pencil. I don't know.
Right? It's a pain. It is a pain. I'm gun spoiled now.
Honestly, first world problems. Here we go. What color are Anakin's eyes? By the end of Revenge of the Sith, they become more yellowish. I haven't even started Andor yet, but people are just like talking so much about season two, and I really gotta check it
I,
out.
I never saw the first season. I was kind of
Like,
fried out on some of the Star Wars stuff at that point too, I feel.
yeah, there was definitely like a Star Wars show like every other month, and I'm like, oh my god, there's like, I never even got around to finishing Bad Batch season three, and I really like that show a lot.
Oh, is it good? I haven't seen Bad Batch at all, actually.
It's so good, dude. Like straight up, like if you like the Clone Wars show, there's no reason to not like the Bad Batch. It's so phenomenal.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
And it
Clone
doesn't
Wars is
overstay its
amazing.
welcome because it's only 3 seasons.
Nice. That's good. Yeah, I saw
They're
the
all,
beginning of first season. I thought it was okay, and then I just never bounced back to it.
yeah, it similar to Clone Wars. It starts off a little slow,
Hmm.
um, but by the end of season one, it gets you're pretty on board. At least I was,
Definitely check that out.
and like for anyone who's seen season two, like that, oh my god, that finale. I was like,
Oh,
no.
really?
Yeah, so good. I also, in the same vein of Clone Wars, want to watch like Tales from the Jedi because that's like in the
Oh,
same
that one's
animation of
good.
Clone Wars.
That one's great. I haven't seen Tales of the Empire, but I've seen Tales of the Jedi.
I watched the first season of the Star Wars anime show. That was pretty good.
Star Wars anime show. I didn't know there was a whole anime show.
Yeah, I think it's called. Damn, I forget what it's called, but yeah, it's like it's 8 different episodes, if I remember correctly, from 8 different anime studios.
Oh, Visions? Yeah.
Visions, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that one's cool.
First season's pretty good. I started this second season, or actually, I think I finished the second season. Yeah, it was that was also pretty solid. But in terms of live action stuff, like Book of Boba Fett was kind of like, yeah,
And hated that.
and like not being the biggest fan of Rogue One, I was like, didn't really feel much incentive to watch Andor.
Yeah, that was my whole thing as well. Totally agree with you on that. I wasn't super crazy about even wanting to watch Andor, to be honest. And that's mostly because I wasn't like a Rogue One person.
Yeah, but they just announced that friggin' Darth Maul is gonna have his own show,
Yeah, I saw that too.
which sounds pretty sick. That I will watch. I also haven't
Yeah,
seen
it's supposed to be a
Ahsoka.
cartoon. Oh, I haven't seen Ahsoka either. I've seen Obi-Wan. It's probably one of the only ones I've seen. If we want to make this list a lot easier, I've seen Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I've seen Obi Wan as well. It was pretty solid. It was a little slow, but like, you know, it ramps up near the end. It's just nice seeing like Ewan McGregor and like Hayden Christian reprise their roles and stuff.
I was concentrating for a moment. Yeah. See, I think this is done being inked. I think I just gotta erase the rest stuff now.
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm gonna start up the layouts for the next one though. I don't have the story built in my head. I just have a general idea, but I'm just excited to like move on to a different one. I'm happy with this, so I can't be upset. I just want it to be better.
We always want it to be better.
Two for reals, but I'm happy. Like, dude, I needed it. Let's check it out. Like, let me see if we can pull my camera back a bit. Um, but this is it.
Yeah, dude, the lettering came out clean.
That's not too bad. I gotta fix two letters though. I messed up two things. Yeah, I'm
Sick,
gonna
dude.
erase down here and add the no in the background with the white out.
It's
Um,
so awesome watching like you and Eric like get more into drawing and stuff and just like and how you're like, I'm coming for you, Eric.
dude, yeah, I straight up like got angry. Like fucking Eric's making comics before me, dude. Like, and I was like, fuck no. Fuck no. Sorry, anyone
That's so
watching, but like that was my immediate reaction. I was
that's
telling
so
Lex about
funny.
that, and she's like, I thought there wasn't any competition with stuff like this. And I was like, there isn't. But the fact that Eric's making comics and I'm not making comics kind of like makes me feel like lame and a piece of shit. And so I gotta jump on this.
And even then in that like conversation, we've all talked about it already, how like there's usually like a healthy sense of competition, or can be a healthy sense of competition. Like
Oh yeah.
competition doesn't necessarily need to be toxic. Like that's Pokemon taught us that, like having rivalries and stuff like that, like
Yeah.
you know
I have a very
it's
healthy rivalry with Eric already right now
yeah.
because he's making comics and I haven't made enough comics. So
I
I will be spitting out pages like once a week now because of this shit. I'm offended.
must end this war.
We're just gonna see who's gonna make more comics between us two. Um, But dude, hey, my first comic book page complete.
That's
I drew
sick,
my
dude.
first comic page. I guess it's my second because I've done a mini comic. So, but this is my first like page. Still though, it's not like sequential art in that sense, as in like the movements aren't moving. You know what I mean? In that sense, these are all static images that tell a moment, but it's not like I mean it's sequential art, but it's not in the sense of like this panel is a direct result of this panel because
Like a
you know what I mean?
linear,
A
yeah.
linear story. Yeah, that's what I want to do. And so, yeah, man, I think I don't know what else I could do to this page for it to be more complete, to be honest. But I think this is good. This is done.
Yeah, no, it came out pretty
Is
solid,
there
dude.
anything else you think I need to? Oh, I need to do the freaking whiteout thing I keep saying.
Yeah, for the no.
Yeah, let me go get. I think my whiteout's downstairs. Yeah, let me go get that presto, and then I have to start making grids and panels for the next one. I think I'm just following the same formula though. CD. All right, here let's see with me. Mm, all right then, let's see here. So first page almost done. Always got to add the whiteout.
What is life without whiteout?
Which is life without whiteout. What I've learned with whiteout and like literally any pencil, you gotta like test it out first.
I like wasn't even trying to make a bad joke the other day at work, but like my coworker had gotten whiteout on her hand on accident, and she hadn't noticed right away. But when she finally did, she was like, "Oh my god, like this whiteout, like man, this stuff like really works. Like it's not coming off." And I was like, "Yeah, man, that whiteout really whites out." And she just took a second. She was like, "That was so corny." I was like, "I wasn't even trying to make like a joke. It's just straight up what it is. It's like it whites out."
It's just a strong adhesive. I get it. Like I was
Yeah.
trying to, I was agreeing with you. I think the no is like a Star Wars thing too, which is why I wanted to put that in there, you know?
Oh, totes. It's a nice little whiteout brush.
Oh, it's just the Presto tip, actually.
Is that like the same one that Max uses too?
Yeah.
Nice.
Standard Presto. Oh crap, my finger got in it. But that'll
No.
happen. That'll happen. Nice. I'm gonna wipe this out and fix it too.
Trying to find the right skin tone for Anakin. It's pretty good. Okay. It's a pretty good base.
I had two letters, a G and an H I had to fix on two different panels. There we go. Woo. No, you just gotta let it dry.
Let it dry, let it dry.
Cool, man. This is pretty freaking sick.
And it came out pretty clean, dude. Like, I know you stress yourself out a lot about like the anatomy and things like that, but it's just like, I personally, even to this day, like don't stick to like a strict anatomy like structure, just because I think kind of playing outside the boundaries, especially in indie comics, is like not that it's like it's not like you can just get away with it, but it creates a style, it creates a look, it
Yeah, it's
creates like
encouraged.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just understanding it. That's where I get lost. Like I don't see it enough, you know? I gotta do a bunch of pages and then be like, oh, this is it.
right.
That's literally it. I think that's my only issue is I just gotta do it more so that I'm more comfortable with it. Um,
Like I was recently
I think it looks
looking
wrong because I don't realize that it actually is right or what I need to tweak. The right line needs to go in the right place almost, you know?
like I feel like you're trying to create like something like a little more realistic, or at least you want to, or like at least that's like what you're trying to envision. But it's
Yeah,
like
I gotta pull back.
yeah, yeah, just like not necessarily like accept what you've like what you've done, but it's just like, this is your style, and like you should learn how to lean into that more.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it, is learning how to lean into it, is being like, okay, is this what it all is gonna look like? Like, how do I how do I make that stick and how do I build upon what I'm coming up with, you know? Is building upon it and improving it.
Yeah,
Because I want it more cartoony, but I'm also trying to like make sure I'm getting the features across right.
right.
And I'm not like basing any of my art off of anyone either. Um, I'm not like trying to like be a copycat of anyone that I know of, which has also been interesting. I intentionally tried to do that so that I wouldn't try to get too close to someone and then just like I love George Fornes, but you know, his style is very distinctly similar to someone else. You know?
I love Jorge Fornes. He's such a. I actually asked someone once like why he like decides to go for such heavy blacks and things of that nature, like in his compositions, and like how did he find himself in that style? And he was like, honestly, it's just easy. Like,
I mean,
you
yeah, I guess so, yeah.
just like, just fill in a whole black thing, like that's it, done. I was like, that's fair enough.
Um, it's kind of like doing your word bubbles, your word balloons before you draw, so you save space.
Hmm. I I was actually recently looking at my story in This Comic Kills Fascists, and because I had remembered that I had done a self portrait of myself maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. So
Hmm.
I was like kind of comparing like the self portraits from like 5 or 6 years ago to now, and it's like you can definitely see 5 or 6 years ago is when I started to like lean into my style a little bit more, but it was still like at an awkward stage where it's like I didn't know what I wanted it to be. And it's like I look at my self portrait in This Comic Kills Fascists, and I'm pretty happy with that, dude.
So closer to what you actually want.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's what your first 100 pages like are your worst or something?
I don't think I've
Or
heard of that.
1,000? Oh, really?
Oh, actually that the thousand I think is what made it sound more familiar to me.
Yeah,
I don't know
like
why,
that.
but I was like a hundred, 1,000. Oh,
But that's when you get good. That's when you really start getting good, actually. Yeah, straight up. Don't forget everyone tuning in. Check out Panels, the Comic Book Creators Guidebook. Live on Kickstarter right now. We're trying to hit that halfway point, and you can make it happen by being our 30th backer. So head over to our Kickstarter page, and just advance your comic book creating skills. Ah, so I think I'm gonna do that same thing I did before, where I put like a 1 inch border around, and then I drew my panels inside of it. So
okay,
I'm
okay,
gonna
okay.
attempt that because Max and I were talking about it, and look, I'm just gonna grab a random comic, which happens to be Black Mirror. I don't know how applicable this would be, but like, you see how there's like still the border.
Right.
Like nothing really goes to the edge of the page. Like it's kind of rare. Look at Home Slice does it, Francisco Francavilla. But then a lot of other comic book pages and panels you see, that's what I'm adding on to it. Like I could go off of it if I wanted, but I'm giving myself that extra,
That extra room.
space.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of this stuff, how it writing off.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm making the panels tighter inside.
Yeah, I've attempted to do a few panels like that and stuff where it's like sort of a splash page of panels on top of it.
Hmm.
And those are always like you need to really think about the composition for sure when you work on those type of pages, but like I feel they always look super satisfying because it feels more like fluent.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna try that out. That was my whole point with that. So that's where I'm going with that. So, but yeah, man, this is this is where we are at. Let's see here. Oh wow, I have some random books I hadn't seen before. I have a stack of books I got from Baltimore because when you go to
Nice.
the Ringo Awards, they give you a whole bunch of stuff. And I just forget I own some of these. Um, but Javi, we're entering this 1 hour mark right now, which is kind of spectacular.
Yeah.
Um, probably be I'm probably just gonna lay out some stuff and then we'll split for a bit. Maybe we could do a stream tomorrow or something later in the week.
Yeah.
But this was
I
a fun little Sunday.
I definitely think I'm gonna have to get off now though because I'm meeting with Kai Brown shortly.
Oh, cool. Yeah, let's wrap it up then. I finished my page. You started your coloring. I'm about to start page two. Which is actually the book of Blocksdorf vet. So I'm pretty hyped. Um
So funny.
but yeah, Skydorf saga continues. I don't know if anyone caught this, but do you know what that is?
I was trying to figure it out.
I would just put episode 182. I think I'm gonna use that for all of it. Like,
Ah,
yeah, I'm
yeah,
super
I
hyped
didn't
about
get
that.
that far in Roman numerals.
Yeah, I had to like Google it and figure it out and look up the Star
I
Wars
had to
lettering.
Google it.
Like,
That, that's
mm,
like Tom King when he wrote Superwoman. He was like, yeah, like the younger character. It was so hard to write her because he was just constantly like googling like synonyms for like words and stuff, since she has such a like fancy like speech.
hmm I can see that. That's hilarious. I love Tom. I love all of this stuff so much.
Oh
Makes me
yeah,
feel
me
better
too.
now. Let me trim this up a little bit, fix her face and neck a little bit more.
Kind of should be good to go very shortly.
Cool. But yeah, man, this has been a good hang. Hopefully, we get a back or two out of the stream. I hope everyone had a good time hanging with us this Sunday morning and drawing some Star Wars themed comics. Go draw some Star Wars stuff and tag us in it today. I
Do
would
it.
love to see what you all are up to. Um, but yeah, Javi, let's dip it here then. If you're set, I'm set.
Yeah, man. I'm just gonna. I posted the inking for this drawing on my Instagram, so if anyone wants to check that out, Javi Blink. I was pretty happy with the video I made for it. Yeah, had a
Oh
good time
yeah.
inking this.
Yeah, man, I can't wait to see the finished coloring. It's already looking great. Maybe I could switch this over. I can't. No, I can't. It just stays like that. All right. Well, hell yeah, dude. Oh wait, maybe I could do it. Can I bring this
Oh,
forward? I don't know how to mess with it. There we
all
go.
right, cool.
Nice, dude. I love that. What's going on in the background? I don't know how you do that, but that's cool.
I will show you all the tricks, Brandon.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, we'll color some stuff for this month. I got to use my iPad more with that. So set.
Hell yeah.
Super hyped. All right. Well, Javi, thanks for hanging today.
Thank you.
Woo! Oh wait, I need to end, not